Hey everybody, welcome. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. As you know, the work that I do, I help gay men transform from shame to self-love, moving from lives of shame and self-hatred, self-criticism, self-judgment for who we are, for our sexual orientation, for what we enjoy in the bedroom, for what we are attracted to, moving from that to this radical space of self-empowerment, sexual confidence, full on appreciation and love and joy and gratitude for who we are, the uniqueness of the beings that we are. That's the work that I do in a nutshell. And I do that through coaching, through Substack, through OnlyFans, through Just for Fans, content creation, podcast, all this good stuff. And it is the honor and thrill of a lifetime for me to do it. I also do it through retreats and through courses. And that's why I want to share a little bit with you here. I wanted to give you a deeper taste into what it looks like to start moving from shame to self love. I created an entire pathway to make this happen, where I want this pathway to be accessible, not scary, because we're already dealing with such a scary topic like shame. So I created this course called Shameless. Shameless is a masterclass of everything that you need, every tool that you need, every coaching tool that I could possibly think of at this point in time to help you go from shame to self-love. Tools that I have used in my personal practice, my personal life over the past 15, 20 plus years, tools that I've helped clients implement into their own lives, tools that have changed the lives of so many clients and people all around the world. These are tools that have changed my life. And I put them together in a course that you can easily access to get started on your own. And so I wanted to share a snippet of that here. This exercise that I'm sharing, it's called What's Your Sexual Story? And this excerpt that you're about to listen to is the direct module from the course itself. Here, I'm going to lead you through an exercise of taking a moment, taking a pause to scroll back through our Rolodex of memories to check in with some of our initial sexual experiences, some of the first messages that we've heard about sex, about sexual energy, about sexual orientation, because all of those messages that we have heard, they have impacted us over time. And it's often the initial ones, the ones from the very beginning, that have had some of the most direct impact on us, especially if we grew up in conservative areas, religious areas, puritanistic areas, areas where we couldn't fully be ourselves as gay plus queer expansive individuals. So follow along through this exercise. And if this is something that lands for you, I encourage you to go even deeper. You can get started right now with my Shameless course. Go to coachkevmartin.com. Again, that's coachkevmartin.com and check it out. You can get started today. You can start to go through these modules that lead you through empowering, connective, compassionate exercises to, again, help you go from shame to self-love. Okay, check this out. I hope you love it, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Let's explore your story. Let's explore a bit of your current relationship with sex. Let's take a look at those experiences. What have you been through? What has sex looked like for you? Not only throughout your lifespan, throughout your history, but more recently, more currently. What's your story here when it comes to sex, sexuality, sexual empowerment, sexual practices, sex with yourself, sex with other people? What's your story? The purpose here, again, is to begin understanding our current relationship with sex. So ultimately, through this exercise, we want to find acceptance of the previous experiences that we've been through. We also want to recognize the current goals that we have when it comes to our sexual expression. And we also want to dive into and find that space of excitement for our growth when it comes to sex and sexual exploration, the things that we're excited for, the things that give us hope, give us fuel, give us passion for what's coming up ahead. With this exercise, we want to give ourselves space to tell ourselves our own story and to not judge our story in the process. This is a really big part of it, where we don't want to be judgmental. We don't want to crap on ourselves or shit on ourselves for the things that we've been through or the things that we've done or that we haven't done, but rather we just want to look at them from behind a glass wall, from an observational standpoint, to say, yeah, these are my experiences, these are the things that I've been through. And these experiences have helped to inform where I'm at today. And with this in mind, here's where I want to be moving forward with, not only now, but in the future as well. So this non-judgmental component is really big here, and we'll get more into that in just a second. So here's the exercise that I have for you. Create a calm environment for yourself, whatever that may look like. Maybe that's in your room or your office or somewhere out in nature, somewhere where you are by yourself, where you can cultivate a mindful, kind of meditative, reflective perspective and connection with yourself for a little bit. Create that calm environment and take 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes and write out your sexual story. Maybe that might be physically journaling it out, or maybe that might be talking into a voice memo or creating a video for yourself. You don't have to share this with anybody. In fact, this is solely for you. But however you want to do this, whatever modality you'd like to choose, the purpose here is to write your sexual story. This is, again, to give ourselves a bit of space when it comes to recognizing the things that we've been through, recognizing our relationship with sex as it presently stands. Here are some helpful questions to get you started. So potentially think, what were my initial sexual experiences? What were they like? How was I introduced to sex in the first place? What did that entail? Who was involved? Maybe this could look like the first time that we even heard about sex as a concept. Maybe this can also include the first few times that we've engaged in sexual activity. Maybe the first few times that we've masturbated, or the first few times that we've had sex with other people. What was that like? And what did those experiences tell us? What messages did we learn from those experiences? How do we process those? What did we learn from those as a result? Also, a couple other questions that could be helpful. What comes to mind when I hear the word sex? And do I have a judgmental, neutral, or excited view towards sex, and why? So when we hear that word sex, what do we think of? Do we get excited? Do we get overwhelmed? Do we get anxious? Do we think of possibilities and connection and fun? Or do we think of fear and worry and hurt and pain? There's no right or wrong answer here. We simply want to find what connections our brain has made when it comes to the world of sex and sexuality. And that pairs into the next question too. When we think of sex again, how do we view that? Do we view that in a judgmental, kind of critical way? Or do we have a neutral view towards sex, where sex is neither here nor there? It just is something about life. Or do we have an excited view when it comes to sex? When we hear that, do we think, fuck yeah, I can't wait for that next thing that I can explore, or that next thing that I can try on for myself and my partners and the people that I interact with? And again, there's no right or wrong answer here either, but rather explore these and then see what might be some of those connective pieces here. Why might we have these perspectives and these attitudes toward sex? Again, no right or wrong, but we want to see those components playing in here. We want to draw those connections and make those connections. So that way we can see how the things that we have been through and the moments that we have been exposed to, how they've helped to cultivate, craft, mold our current view towards sex. Again, no right or wrong. And I'm really stressing that point because we want to take this non-judgmental view and approach here. We don't want to judge ourselves. We don't want to judge our experiences. We just want to say, hey, this is what it is. It is what it is that I have a judgmental view towards sex. Or it is what it is that I really fucking love sex. Whatever that is, we just want to accept it and acknowledge it for where it currently stands now. So again, take 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes or more if you'd like to. Hell, do whatever you want. But spend some time here and craft your sexual story. What's your story when it comes to sex? Spend some time here. Let me know if you have any questions along the way.